Come on with it, baby. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to High Top Sports, waking up with the boys on Monday Mashup, where we recap some of the games from this past weekend. A lot of great games. We got the Red River. That just made me speechless. I've got no words. Kirby survives once again. Bama holds on like I thought they would. And Indy is for real. Kurtz and Getty said, hold my sig. Here we come. But that isn't even the most exciting stuff that happened this past weekend. Nobody even cares that football was played. Why? Because 12-year head coach took me to a 4-man playoff last year. James Franklin. See you later. Wouldn't want to be you. Penn State says we're done. We have higher standards here at Penn State. Even though prior to that, we haven't won since 1965. Final Four is not good enough, James. You're out of here. We're going to talk all about it. We've been talking about it for the last 24 hours. Why not continue the roll with it? Trent Diffler's gone. Who's next? We talked about this on Friday. We all gave our opinion of what coach was going to be canned. I can tell you one thing. James Franklin wasn't on the list. I think Trent was. James wasn't. We talked about it. I think he was like 7 on the hot list. Cowboy Ty joins us. Dialed in.
False hope. False hope.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into that. And then Cody the Prof, looking beautiful as our boys and girls. Good evening, ladies and gents. Good morning. Happy to have you beautiful gentlemen here. How we feeling, big guys? How we feeling?
Yeah. I just said it, buddy.
Pretty
False
good.
hope. That's all I got this time. False hope. That's all I get.
I think I might have the inside track on who's getting fired next.
Yeah? What's that?
Yeah. Wisconsin. Head coach Luke Fickell going to go down next.
Luke Fickell.
Oh,
I love that pick.
Yeah, they got to play Ohio State.
Oh,
they got to play Ohio State, and
Nail in
after
the coffin.
that, it's a done deal. Nail in the coffin. Per my inside source there.
You know, you got to think this James Franklin move with his monumental as it was. It seems a bit quick to me. And again, I know a lot of fans are like, they're serious about football. And I love the attitude. I love the mentality. The AD comes out because we have a higher standard. I mean, say it. If you're going to be about it, be about it. I mean, Penn State football, when I think of Penn State football, I think that James Franklin has definitely held up to what they've always been in my lifetime anyways. But look, in the same breath, in the same tone, you go out there and they gave him full financial support over the last couple of years. I mean, going out and snatching the highest paid defensive coordinator in college football last year. I mean, you can't blunder it the way like you blundered this season. So it is obviously a tough one there. But yeah, you wonder how other schools are going to navigate now with Penn State doing this, kind of setting the tone of like, if Penn State's doing it, is FSU going to do it? Their buyout's very similar, right? Obviously, and he's done less than James has, if not, and his is worse. I mean, he's had back-to-back uh-ohs at this point. We'll get into FSU because I know Ty is excited to talk about that, but let's dwell on the James here for just a minute. Go ahead, Cody.
Real fast on the Penn State thing, and I think with them paying the buyout, James Franklin is going to land a good job somewhere, and I don't think it's shameful to circle the wagon if you're a program like Wisconsin. I know is looking for a coach. Virginia Tech, like one of these programs that are a little bit lesser that he can go in rebuild. Because I mean, let's be honest. He won a bunch of games. He just didn't win the big ones. Well, you don't think that with a zero buyout that you can't go snatch that guy. If I'm the University of Wisconsin, I'm firing Fickell today, and I'm hiring him right now. Like, come right now.
It is very intriguing, and you're 100% right that
someone that's your brand of ball.
That someone just lost their job.
That's Wisconsin's MO.
Yeah, they just get
Wisconsin
fired.
MO is running the ball like that.
But 3 weeks ago was on probably a handful of AD's list, and now has become much more affordable. Much more affordable with a winning
he's
coach.
Hotter now than what he was.
Yeah, I mean, you're not in all reality. Look, I think some schools got to be like, but FSU. I mean, he could be a target because you especially someone like FSU that has a whopping buyout, and now you get to kind
LSU?
of really kind of flip over to a solidified head coach that's proven to win. And and you can kind of get it for a much cheaper rate. Ty, he's chomping at the bits here. I love it.
No, I mean, I actually thought James Franklin's he was done after the UCLA game. I just thought they were going to wait till the end of the year, but then you lose to Northwestern at home. Like they have no choice at this point. Like Franklin, we were going to give you the end of the year, but now it's over. Like you did a great job rebuilding our program. We thank you. We do everything, but we're past the rebuilding stage now. Like you got to go win football games.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like you rebuild us. You did a great job, but now we have to go win a national title. And you come out and you lose to an 0-4 UCLA team, and then you go home and you lose to Northwestern. You lose the game before to Oregon by 1 point. I thought time was done, but that just solidified it and it made it quicker. I mean, that's all.
Where do you
that
go,
happened.
Ty?
And
where do you go?
What's that?
Who do you go get?
What are you talking about, James Franklin?
No.
Are you talking about Norvell?
Who does Penn State go get?
Well, no, I get it, but it's at the end of the year. Like, you're going to have to wait for the carousel to start. Like, we're going to have to wait for the end of the year. Like, they're going to put somebody in. I don't know who they named interim head coach, but he'll get his opportunity to prove. I don't know if they'll ever hold
some guy that's been there as long as James. He's been with.
I'm
James
just saying, like he could prove himself and be different. I'm just saying they could be different. Like they're different, bring a different atmosphere, whatever you want to say. But like, wait till the carousel starts. Like they're gonna wait till the end of the year, and we're gonna probably see multiple coaches fired over the next couple of weeks. Norvell could be fired. Billy Napier could be fired. Like all these Fickle's going to be fired. Like all these guys are going to be there. It's just like what fits your culture. Like some of these coaches do very well at other schools. I mean, it's how it goes. Like Brian Kelly's going to probably be available too. Like
what a wild year.
LSU's done with him. These teams. We said it last week that you don't want to like get emotional and just go fire coaches because it's different time, different era of college football. But like these schools have expectations, and when you don't live up to those expectations, this is what happens. And everybody at Penn State beginning of the year was saying we're going to win a national title, but we thought that Penn State was going to have a terrible season, Cody, and we seem to be correct on that one. So.
How does Penn State seem to get that standard? They haven't been good in forever.
Well, it's not that
they weren't that good.
They just never got over the hump. They would win 9 games. They'd win like 9 games and never do anything. But now with the playoff started, I think it's put up a new standard. As in, we should be making the playoff. We made it to the Final Four last year. We have a quarterback that is supposed to be all world, which I don't think he is, but they act like he is. So, like, that's the standard that they've set for themselves. And
I think
where they are.
Yeah, the point of it, and I think you're right, because prior to this, you had the East versus the West in the Big Ten, and you really had to just win one game. And if you lost that one game, it was going to be Michigan going to the Big Ten championship against Ohio State. That's kind of how that thing played out. And so that was kind of where you could hide. You could just win 10 games and get by. But now it's like, we don't care about the Big Ten championship. You better make a damn playoff. And for you to shoot yourself 5 games in of eliminating any chances of that, it's like, okay, dude, you're not doing. I mean, you were kind of just getting by before. It's very Mark Richt feeling, honestly. I mean, he kind of just did just enough for a couple of years, and because the program was in just dire need to feel competent, was able to ride that wave. And very similar, Mark Richt had to always just win one game to make it to the SEC championship and would lose that. And the way the playoffs were very different. So I would say the leniency was much more, but now it has to, and this is why I was so adamant for Florida this year of being playoff or bust. I mean, there is no reason. Your schedule was it hard, but it also benefited you. That allowed for you to make a few mistakes, to have a few hiccups that other schedules wouldn't allow for you. Like FSU, I mean, they're in the same, they're worse off. They don't even have, they're 0-3 in the ACC. They're even worse off than Florida was when they had 3 losses.
Haven't won an ACC game in almost 400 days.
Crazy.
400 days.
Crazy.
ACC. We're talking ACC.
That's wild. Ugh. So let me do this. I want to play a little game real quick, and then
they won an SEC game though.
They did. They beat Bama. They beat Bama. They did beat Bama.
We always beat the SEC schools.
What do you cellar dwellers want? I mean, my goodness, you beat Bama. That's your Super Bowl. Just shut up already.
What do you cellar dwellers want? What do you cellar dwellers want?
We beat Texas.
Yeah, we beat Texas. Yeah, suck that.
That's our new rivalry.
What's worse? What's worse? Being in the situation that Florida is in, where there was high expectations and we never even smelt like the good, or where Florida State was, where it was like zero expectation, no way we come out and do anything. We're gonna get walled off by Bama. Start off looking like the best team in the country. When in 3 in a row, you're like, here we go. To just have it all sucked away with you within 3 weeks. Which one? I mean, if you had to choose to be at the bottom of the barrel, which one are you picking?
Like I said, I would have rather got shell shocked by Bama and just got less false hope, because it made me like, I believe that the team was really good. Like the defense played good. Our defense is the problem right now. It's not our offense in all truthfulness. The defense can't stop anyone.
Yeah.
They gave up like 4th down conversions, like they're going out of style against Pitt. And the UVA game, you score 39 points, you should probably win the football game. Miami game is whatever. Like Miami's pretty good. But you lose 2 close games, but you score almost 40 points and you still lose the game. Like the defense is a problem, which I thought was a problem beginning, but then we shut down Alabama. So I said, well, maybe we don't have a problem. So I would have rather just got shell shocked by Alabama, got smoked.
And then you probably would have lost Norvell too, because now I think you're in a weird situation.
Right. He might save his job. Right. I agree.
He's got to win probably 3 more games to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can't lose to Florida. I don't think they have to look better. Like, there's a couple of things that have to happen, but you better win 6 games, because you go 14-0, then you go 2-10, then you beat Alabama. It's just a life of inconsistency is what I see at Florida State. That's what I see, just inconsistent. He's
as cringy as they get, dude. He's one. I mean, we make fun of Brian Kelly. I can't stand Norvell. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the guy at all.
I'm starting to not like him. Well, I didn't like him to begin with, but then he won me over to Alabama win. I'm not going to lie, but now he's just pissing me off.
I mean, fair, yeah, rightfully so.
Away.
Rightfully so.
I think where Florida fans are at, because the defense is so good, and you see a spark in the first drive, and you're like, okay, we're here, we're gonna do it, we're gonna win. Finger on the button. I'm gonna hit the button, and then you get to the second half, and you're like, we're not gonna score any more points. Shit.
I would like to thank Florida, though.
Every game. Like what Tyler felt throughout the season, we get it every game.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Florida for jumping out like they did, because Hard Rock gave me a live over-under of 72.5 points, and I said there is zero shot in this God green earth that there's 72.5 points in this football game.
Felt like it, though.
So I take the under. Lock City.
It felt like it, though, for 5 minutes. Like, it's going to be a barn burner, boys. Buckle up. Yeah, it got shut down pretty quickly, though, I would say. The thing that it was 14-14 in the first quarter.
Right.
Florida didn't score again. Nope. They never crossed the white chalk again. Oh, brother.
I was told by a pretty prominent podcaster one time that on Billy's worst day he'd score 21.
Nice. I
don't know if that guy's still employed or
yeah, nice.
What?
Nice. Anything else, Cody?
Man.
That's it.
Okay.
Bama Mizzou. How are we feeling about that?
Hang on.
Well, you guys just kicked me out. You guys don't want me on screen anymore.
No, we're gonna go ahead
and
take
away
the show.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you took Cody.
Yeah.
Off.
Oh, it's so well. Look at me, I'm Cody. I got jokes. No, just kidding. All right, Alabama hangs on versus Mizzou. It was almost as I said it was gonna happen. I was almost right. Bama didn't pull away like I thought. I'm so pissed, boys. I gotta tell you, I'm pissed. I took Bama 3.5 to lose that game by half a point.
I told you don't bet that game.
Kicked in the nuts. I felt it was.
The half point hooks are terrible.
They'll get you, dude. They'll get you, man. And it's just crazy how the
backdoor touchdown at the end of the game.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It was a backdoor. It didn't even count. We all know it was garbage time, and it was just. I mean, not really, because obviously they had a chance to drive and they throw a pick, but Bama the game went as I thought that it would. Bama adjusted very well. Again, where Mizzou's strengths weakness was the run defense, and Mizzou took advantage of it when they could. But if you go back and watch the game prior to that, Bama has done a great job adjusting. DeBoer has done a phenomenal job, in my opinion, this year of really turning this Bama team around. It's not the exact resemblance of an old Bama team, because I think their firepower on offense is much more prominent than we've seen typical Bama teams have. But they're they're not as defensive powerhouse as they typically are, but their just ability to win the football game is very Bama-esque. Like, very similar to the Kirby game, which we'll get into. But Look, Mizzou's not out of it by any stretch. One loss, but this is, to be honest with you, it's what we thought Mizzou was, I think, right? They're still very Mizzou in a weird way. They've got some tough games coming up. Oklahoma looks sus now, which we all thought they were the best team in the country. I know Mateer's coming back from an injury, probably rushed it too quick, which we'll get into that game. But, yeah, Bama continues to roll, but they're not the best team in my eyes. It's Texas A&M for the SEC, and it's not even close at the moment. They are just a just clean football team right now in every asset of the game. They do have weaknesses, and it's Marcel Reed. So we'll see if somebody can expose that. Similar to what Texas was able to do to John Mateer. Look, we've seen Oklahoma kind of, even though they've looked really good, they've had some issues running the ball and doing certain things. Texas was finally able to expose it and force John Mateer to have to be good, and he wasn't. Cody, thoughts on this Bama-Mizzou game?
It was a great watch, truthfully. I mean, I was very entertained by the game. I didn't have a dog in the fight, and it was just kind of a SEC classic. And Bama does what Bama always seems to do. They got some wide receiver off the bench, started feeding him the ball, and he made some big time plays. I can't remember his name, but it's like every time you think that Bama's down or it's not looking good, all they need is one little spark, and that team starts rolling. Defense makes a stop, and then they're in it, and then they score, and then it feels like Bama just the train starts rolling, and watch out, get out in front of it because it's not going to stop, and it feels like that every single game.
Yeah, what scares me if you're playing against Bama, sorry, I got some cold foam on my lip, is that they're finding ways to win every game right now. Like the outside that FSU obviously lost, which nobody remembers except FSU fans. Like it genuinely has zero impact right now. Like if you look at the AP, Bama is ahead of Oregon, which makes 0 sense. 0 sense. Oregon's one loss is to the number 3 team or number 4 team in the country, Indiana, who's undefeated. Bama's loss is to the wannabe FSU that has 3 losses unranked. Crazy how AP just gobbles up Alabama. And again, nobody remembers that loss at all. But Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I said Mizzou had to do in this game was run the football with Hardy. They didn't really establish it very well. I think he only had like 11 carries. But what impressed me on the
12.
Alabama side of the ball was how many guys he hit for completions. I think they had 9 guys catch a ball, and not one of them was named Ryan Williams, just for the record.
9. Yeah,
Ryan Williams had zero catches.
Shit,
he had 9 receivers, and not one was Ryan Williams. Isaiah Horton got into the mix. Jeremy Bernard, he found Miller a couple times. He was just spreading the ball around, and he just didn't target one person. So, like, when you have that quarterback who's just willing to take what they have, Ty Simpson played a great football game, and that's been the difference to me in Alabama this year is they actually have quarterback play. They're not just relying on Ryan Williams. Jalen Milroe throw the ball down the field and say, go catch it, Ryan, So they have better quarterback play this year. But their defense isn't – I don't think their defense is quite on the echelon yet. They're good and they create turnovers, but, like, it just feels like they give up too many big plays. But I think Alabama's going to be okay, but I think they got tough games. Like, it still wouldn't shock me if they lose three football games. I mean, they're good, but they're not great.
They're playing with fire.
So,
yeah.
Right, exactly. And
so
Missouri is better than we thought, but
they got Alabama next week. Yeah, look, what's interesting is, we go back to the last couple of years, and what's going to make a championship team is going to be that quarterback play, right? That's what's going to be interesting. When you look around the league, who is that team with that guy? Who is it?
I'd have to say Bama. I think Ty Simpson's the best quarterback we're seeing right now, not named the cat from Indiana. I feel like, but here's the thing, Alabama's got a lot more weapons than what Indiana has. They're kind of a one-man band with Surratt. If he goes down, heaven forbid.
They got Cooper.
I know they got Cooper, but are they as deep as Alabama? I mean, we saw this kid.
How about the
Zinzer Brooks just hop off the bench, true freshman. He had a big 50. I know it's only 58 yards receiving, but they were big. I mean, they just got cats everywhere.
Right, but Simpson's willing to take them. I mean, it's just like I said, it's not a one-man band like it was with Milroe last year. It's either run or throw it to Ryan Williams. That's what it was last year. That's why they weren't that good.
I'm not willing to say it. I don't believe in Carson Beck. I'm not willing to say it.
I'm just saying.
I believe in his athletes. I don't believe in him. I believe in his athletes.
I'm just saying.
We haven't seen a Carson Beck collapse.
Saying,
we've seen glimpses of it.
We've seen glimpses
where he's trying to throw it away. He will drop a game.
I've been the biggest Carson Beck hater. Okay, but when I'm looking around the league, man, and I'm talking about trenches, and I'm talking about defenses, and I'm talking about talent on the football field, there's a team that checks all those boxes. Okay, and then when you've got it, and then when we go to the other box, a solidified quarterback that has great experience, that can play the big game. Has he had hard times to get over the hump? Yeah, I've been the biggest one saying, hey, he hasn't got over the hump. He's undefeated.
Listen,
and
I'm everyone knows that I think Carson Beck's probably super overrated, and I don't think he's very good. But let me tell you what he is. He's very intelligent. You want to know why he's intelligent? Because he went to a school that was going to make him look better than what he was. He's going to end up getting drafted higher than he should in the NFL, and he's going to bomb. And that's how it's going to go. He's got a great offensive line. He can be protected. He can use his athletes to make him look better than what he is. And he's smart when it came to his career.
He's a hero.
I'm not saying.
I mean,
no.
But he's in a great system to go get it done. In a time right now where college football, it just doesn't feel like there's just like one team. Like last year, I mean, Ohio State was just one of the most complete teams we've seen in quite some time, and they were just good. And anywhere you looked, they were good, right? The year prior to that, Michigan was a powerhouse on defense, a powerhouse in the trenches, and a powerhouse in the running back. And J.J. McCarthy did his job. Like, great. I mean, listen, obviously he was good. Let's not get it twisted. But he didn't have to be great. And when I look around the league, Bama has has some issues they've got to overcome. I think Tyson's been playing great, and I'm kind of liking Alabama. I've got Alabama up there because of his ability to play. I love A&M. A&M fits everything that I just said, but I think Marcel Reed is more reliability than they have been exposed to yet. I'm not. That game should have been 90-0, but Marcel Reed kept them from scoring more. And I don't know about their quarterback. His knee went 3 different directions. Moss, how his health is if he's out, could be huge.
Well, I mean, they have explosive receivers too. KJ and Craver, those two guys are unbelievable.
Crazy. So that's what I'm saying. They fit the same mold.
Like, they have the athletes, right? I agree, but they have a more of electric quarterback when it comes to running, but they don't have a good of a passer. So it's like they're right in between each other, and it's I like Texas A&M. I think they're both.
Right now. Pick who's your national champion right now. You want to say Indiana? If we put the Bama logo on Indiana, you're picking Bama, Cody. Don't look at me like that. You know that you are.
I don't want to pick Indiana.
You just don't want to pick Kirk because he's 75 years old and collecting Social Security. That's why you won't do it. But you know damn well if he was rocking the SEC logo, you couldn't even get it out. Just say it.
Give me
you love Mendoza brothers. You love the Mendoza brothers back there. It's AKA the Menendez brothers from the Netflix series. You want to say it? Go ahead.
I'll take Ohio State.
Oh,
I can't. I don't think back-to-back is happening.
I don't think so either. But I mean, listen. Here's the thing with Miami, schedule-wise, they don't have to play Georgia Tech, which they've struggled against. They have
they will.
So they'll
play them in the ACC championship.
Well, okay. So they have Louisville, Stanford, which isn't good, SMU, Syracuse, which doesn't have a starting quarterback, NC State, a coachless Virginia Tech team, and Pitt. The only team that I see on there that can that they could drop a game to is probably Pittsburgh, and we're thinking maybe a freak Louisville game.
I didn't ask you who you didn't think was not going to win. I want to know who you think is going to win.
It's tough. I'll take Ohio State, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a weak pick. Ty?
You know what? Listen, last week I told you all what was going to happen in Outson, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. The Hoosiers are going to win the Big Ten, and they're going to win the national title. Let's go, Hoosiers. This is the college football. This is NCAA basketball back in the 80s. The Hoosiers somehow.
Do you think they have enough depth, though? Do you think they have enough depth?
I think if they can avoid injuries, I think they have an opportunity, because I'll tell you what they didn't have last year was the defense they have this year. And that's
agree.
the difference in the Indiana football team. Is last year they could score, but they couldn't really stop anyone. This year they seem to be able to stop people, and they have a quarterback who takes care of the football. And that's what I said was good with them last week was Mendoza, because he doesn't turn the ball over. He just seems to make the right plays and runs the offense to a T. I mean, if I was going to pick, honestly, like I would love Indiana to win. If I was going to pick a team, though, in all truthfulness, that Ohio State's probably the best team right now. But I hate to say it, but they are, because they have great defense, and they have Jeremiah Smith, and they have Carnell Tate, and they got 2 running backs that run the football, and Donaldson and Bo Jackson, and they have all the complete
figuring
team.
it out too.
Yeah, so right now you're Ohio State's probably the front runner for sure, but they're not like the clear front runner in my opinion. They're beatable.
I got pushback with the Texas A&M wins and Natty this year. After seeing them, Texas A&M is not that deep on offense. Because that offense really stuttered as soon as Moss went down and Casey Concepcion was out for a couple drives. I mean, they couldn't get anything going when those two players were out.
Again, for me, it wasn't that wasn't the issue. It was Marcel Reed.
So you don't trust Reed?
I don't, not at all. No, I like A&M a lot. I really think. To me, they check every box. They dominate the trenches. They play clean football. I think they're well coached. I think they make great adjustment. That the echo is there. I think they've got speed around everywhere in the right places. They run the ball effectively. They could have just ran the ball effectively and been completely fine with how they bullied them. But I'm going to put them in the same category as Indiana. I think they have great wins so far. We'll call them good wins so far, and they've looked dominant. I don't know if Indiana's win over Oregon was that great now. I don't know. Oregon beats a Pitt. No, okay. Let's not say that. It was a great win. It was a great win. But Oregon beating Penn State, are we like hanging our hats on that now? Like that's kind of like it's like FSU beating Bama. Like, yeah, it was cool when it happened, but like now you're looking back, like maybe it wasn't so hot. You know, it's like LSU beating Clemson. Like nobody cares about that win anymore. Like it doesn't have any value to it.
Switch to that Ducks Oregon thing so I can start what I'm going to say.
Okay, yes, sir. My apologies.
I start in his own show.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Go.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
No, so like what I was going to say is you guys were on the Ducks. You guys were, this isn't going to be close. Everyone was just duck. And I said that Indiana was going to win the football game, and it was because Dante Moore was not as good as people acted like he was, and his 2 picks proved it. And his Heisman hopefuls, like you guys, I said last week, are gone as soon as he loses. They're not there anymore. They don't exist. Now we're saying that
I agree with you on that. Don't yell at me. Don't have to be a complete a-hole.
I'm not yelling.
You lost. You're all mad about it. We're going all rowdy about it. Relax.
I'm not yelling at you. What I'm saying is I said out the door, and you get a Heisman hopeful, like it's gone. It doesn't exist now. We like Oregon, one loss, and he's gone. The 2 picks, Mendoza took care of the football. They did not turn it over. And Elijah Surratt,
he threw an interception.
He might be. Well, I'm not saying he was perfect, but Elijah Surratt looked like the best receiver in the country to me. He is a big, strong, powerful kid, and he is almost just he's hard to guard. He's behind Jeremiah Smith, and that's about it, I feel like. But they run the ball well, and the difference in Indiana this year is defense. They play defense. Those guys were flying around making plays. And in Outson Stadium, that is not an easy spot to play. I can tell you that is as tough as it gets. That's across country. That's in Oregon. That's tough. I mean, that win to me, Singetti, I don't know who doesn't want that guy. I know he's old, but let me tell you, the guy doesn't lose on any level at this point.
Look, I think I think we can all agree on this, that whatever teams are in this playoffs, it's really going to come down to coaching and adjustments. I don't think there's a team out there. And obviously that sounds like a dumb take because that's always going to be the answer. But my point of it is this Ohio, like again, we could look back at that Ohio State team. Like it wasn't like they just out-coached people. They just straight up beat everybody's ass. It wasn't like the run for them last year. And this year, I just don't see a team that has that yet. Ohio State didn't have it until the right time either. But they at least looked like they had it. They were almost being held back from their coaching last year is how it felt, right? They were getting in their own way. And that's why I think it's really hard if you take a look, like, who do you pick? Because Indiana has looked good. But like you said, are they deep enough? Is the talent there when they go up against an Ohio State? It's really going to come down to how does Kurt navigate that? And so now we're almost feeling like, hey, we're going to be bet on a head coach, not a talent, not a logo. Which guy is going to go in there and navigate these playoffs well? And that's why you got to love Ohio State. You got to love Ryan Day, a guy that's been there, a guy that's already done it. Even DeBoer to an extent. I like Bama a lot. I really do. I think them getting kicked in the nose against FSU was massive, and their turnaround after that loss has been huge. Ty Simpson, I'm a big believer in. He's a guy that I would lean on. Out of all the quarterbacks, he's the best quarterback in college football, personally, and how he's managed this team, how he's united this team, and how he's been leading this team. And I think that DeBoer being there, at least tasting it, has also navigated. So when you take all those things into consideration, those are my front runners. And then Kurt's right there because he's at least always been around it, just hasn't led his own team there.
Well, look at this remaining schedule for Indiana, because I wanted to pull this up.
Oh, it's
they have
cake.
Michigan State. They have Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, Penn State without a quarterback and a coach. They got Wisconsin and Purdue. I don't see a loss. I mean, do you sound?
I'm
UCLA.
not worried about them making
UCLA
the
can be
playoffs.
tough.
I'm not worried
UCLA
about the
can be
playoffs.
tough.
UCLA playing on the road in Indiana, I think, has zero.
Get 'em, Ty.
They don't have the ability to
See,
beat that.
Cody, this is what Cody does. Cody's such a Disney gator, dude. He just starts making.
I
stuff
do.
up.
I do think UCLA, since they made a coaching change, has played better football. I don't disagree with what he's saying there, but they don't.
Out of
have the
all those,
ability.
That Penn State game could be an interesting one because look, I know they just lost James Franklin, but that's like Bobby Petrino. Like you got to watch out for that game.
Do you want to know the one team that honestly that might be able to beat them, and that's because they will have no care in the world, is at Purdue, and that would be the only game I would be even worried about at the end of the season when they're trying to go
Purdue's
undefeated.
Boilermakers.
I'm just saying it's like one of those upsets.
Kurt
look at the
Spaghetti's
history.
not going to allow that to happen.
I agree.
You can't pick
go look
Tyler
it up.
Cincinnati and then he's going to lose at Purdue.
I
They
said
don't
the
have a
only
football
game.
team, Tyler.
I said the only
They
game.
put the
Don't yell
basketball
at me.
players out there for that
Don't
game.
yell at me. I said the only game possible.
Holy,
Purdue's good at that.
The Hoosiers used to
That
play
is
basketball on the court too.
That is one thing that Purdue
that
is
was
good at,
pre-Kurt Spaghetti.
to spoil somebody's Big Ten championship dreams.
I mean,
They're
I'm
like
just
known
saying,
for
like, I'm
that.
not saying that's likely. I'm just saying, like, that would be the one where you just sleepwalk in. Purdue's got nothing to lose, and they just put it all.
It'll be
on
11
like,
o'clock kickoff.
Because
It's
truthfully,
7:30
Indiana
p.m.
could-
It's on NBC. He's not
it's a night
losing that game.
Indiana could be #1 team in the country going into that football game, which is crazy to say. Like that, it's not out of the realm that they would be the #1 team in the country at that point.
Look,
I don't think that's
this is
gonna
the one
happen.
thing I think we've all agreed on too.
just saying,
This
right?
heading into this year was wide open for the taking. That's why I was so excited for this Florida football team. But it was wide open. There was no team that was coming in with just, built to perfection. Your two big dogs, Texas and Ohio State, lost a lot of people. We were right about Texas. Ohio State, in my opinion, hasn't been tested yet. I think they're going to get exposed, but time will tell. We all talked about it. Their defense is what's been really good. They are just loaded it up in talent, and Julian Sands been great. So they have done a phenomenal job, in my opinion, of rotating this roster over because they ranked 120th, I think, in returning production, right behind Texas, who was like 110. And Texas has had gone through much more of a battle-tested schedule than Ohio State has had to go through. But it's again, my point of it is this is why it seems weird to pick Indiana, but not anymore. Not anymore. And again, but that's where the playoff changes some things because Indiana's going to make the playoffs. They're a lock. Even if they lose to Penn State or even lose to Purdue,
Right.
they're still going to be in. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, they're in it. I agree. There's
unless
zero
some
shot of
colossal
it.
collapse happens.
Correct.
Even if Mendoza goes down, obviously there's big things there. But
Correct.
there's just look, we didn't even mention Ole Miss. Ole Miss is undefeated still too. It's crazy how we just naturally look. I know why we haven't said them. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
We kind of have this feeling. Again, I think the only reason why, if Ohio State, let's play this game. If Ohio State had the Indiana logo, we would be talking about Ohio State the same way we're talking about Ole Miss. But because it's Ohio State and because of their past, tendencies, and obviously with Ryan Day there, we're looking at them much more, progressively. But they don't have a win on their schedule that has me knocking my boots at this moment.
Listen, I say it every week.
Well, I guess they
It's
did
wide
dominate
open.
Illinois last week.
You better show up week to week because teams are like, it's not like it used to be. You just don't get a cakewalk anymore. You don't get to just play one or two football teams. You got to play everyone because everyone's got talent now. And it's
this Big Ten shit's so stupid. I just realized this. Sorry to interrupt you. Ohio State has Wisconsin, Penn State, which obviously at the time seemed intimidating, doesn't anymore. Purdue, right. UCLA, Rutgers, and then of course Michigan. USC. Let's see what USC's got because they have one loss now. Oh, they've got a stretch coming up. They've got Notre Dame, Nebraska, Northwestern, who obviously is a powerhouse now. Iowa, and then Oregon and UCLA. And that UCLA game's got to be scary now. So
yeah, I think Lincoln Riley will blow two of those games for sure. I don't see UCLA.
I thought the Big Ten was,
USC. Sorry,
was way deeper than the SEC. Bob,
yeah, it's. I think
seems a little top heavy to me.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yeah.
It's three teams right now because USC I think is a pretender.
And who would have thought Indiana was one of those power teams in the Big Ten? I don't think anybody was saying they were like good, but I don't think they were considered they were power.
Hey, keep your eyes and ears peeled for the old Huskeroos boys. They've got Minnesota, which will be a tough one. We'll kind of really see with that defense and how they can get this offense rolling. And they have Northwestern. Then it's USC. And then, again, UCLA is a scary team to play right now. I'm going to be honest with you, boys. We don't know what you're going to get. So,
Whoa. Hold on. UCLA scary? I just said that's the only team that might upset Indiana, and you guys laughed at me. Now they're scary?
Who said that? I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
Sheldon said that.
Yeah, you were laughing. UCLA, come on.
No,
UCLA got a question mark with an LOL sign on the side over here.
Indiana, they're not scary. They're not scared for Indiana, but they're scary for like a Nebraska or for like a USC where you're like, at one point of the season, you're like, hey, this is going to be an easy one.
They're a team I wouldn't want to play right now.
But not if they got Kurt Szigety. Kurt Szigety doesn't get wavered.
Cody wants his
He's the Marlboro man, Cody. It's Kurt Szigety. Boys, there's almost 200 people in here on this beautiful Monday morning. Smash that dang like button. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. This is why I love these shows. I mean, we are completely off the rails here as usual. But we're gonna keep it rock and roll. I didn't say much about this Duck versus Indy game. Again, neither team is gonna be tested. Indiana's gonna make the playoff, and Oregon's gonna make the playoff. Like, what else is there to say? Dante Moore was disappointing to me. We said it though. This was gonna be the game, sir.
Might be a great rematch.
It could be. It could. Ohio State has to drop one. Ohio State doesn't play either one of these teams, so there's a weird nuance there of how that's going to work out. Ohio State doesn't play any of these guys, and so there's no crossover play for these three. I honestly don't think there will be, and the reason I say that is when you look at the Big Ten in the conference right now. There is 1, 2. You know what? UCLA only has one loss in the conference, but I digress. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 one-loss teams. So right now, Ohio State and Indiana are the only 2 undefeated, and they don't play each other. So that could be your Big Ten championship because Ohio State doesn't seem like they're going to be losing to anybody because their only big game left was going to be Penn State and Michigan. And now that Penn State game does not look intimidating.
Why is everyone saying UCLA is scary either? Like, they beat Penn State. Obviously, Penn State isn't very good. They lost to Northwestern at home. I mean, like,
UCLA's undefeated, as far as I'm concerned.
UCLA's undefeated since they were 0-4. Yeah, I agree.
What the hell's going off over there?
Oh, sorry. That was my dishwasher. That was my bad.
Oh. Mine usually doesn't beep. She just walks back.
Everything's fine. You guys are fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, that's fine. All right, let's.
Dude, my new favorite meme is the coffee drinking dog with the fire in the back. That's it. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Kirby going to Kirby.
That's Florida State football, baby. That's
what is this? What is this? What am I doing here?
Time out.
I was clapping.
I think he actually said timeout too. I think
he was saying
timeout. Reader, timeout. Wait, what's this mean?
But then he got him to believe it. He got him to believe it. That's the best part about the whole situation.
Bro, he's a hell of a salesman. That's why he's such a great recruiter.
He was yelling timeout and then immediately plays dumb. Incredible stuff. I mean, I don't know how you can go back and watch and say, I wasn't.
So I saw there's some obviously uproar on Twitter about him getting him getting fined. Definitely some issues with the officiating, possibly, getting some reprimand. For him to be able to call a timeout and then convince the head judge that he didn't call the timeout. I mean, listen, the guy's playing the game to win. Give me a coach like that. Like you convinced the entire ref crew that knew that you said timeout, that you didn't say it. Like, give me a guy. I love me some toxic relationships, okay? That's gaslighting to a T. Give me some of that. That's what makes you a winner.
Is there a rule going to be in place because of this? Because if we're having that type of confusion of
Our
when
rules made.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like there needs to be a button. Like, I'm not doing this crap anymore because we can't have the if, then, what happens. Because, look, in the same breath, what if he was clapping, right? Obviously, he wasn't. But if he was and he calls a timeout, then it's, I mean, I don't think the controversy is nearly as bad. But, something like that, if you're leaving something like that up to a decision and you're going to allow for yourself to be persuaded, you got to put something in place for that not to happen again.
If I could sell mortgages like he sold that, I'd be the richest man alive. Like, that's all I can say. Like, that was
lock it in, Ty. You can't.
I mean, I need the Kirby move. I'm like, oh, you said you were going to buy? Yeah, you said you were going to buy. All right, got it, cool. And then they just buy.
That was incredible.
The entire time this game was on during the Florida game, and I had it on in the background, and I think at one point, I think they were going into half. Georgia was, and they had a total of 5 yards.
It was an ugly game in my opinion.
Crazy.
So what do we? Maybe not maybe a flag, like a challenge flag. Maybe they have to toss the flag on the field.
Yeah, it's super easy fix. Yeah, very easy.
Yeah.
They're 100%. It should just be a flag. Yeah, just throw a blue flag.
Yeah.
Because the timeout thing has always kind of been coming to an head of like when they're running down, and I was like, I was calling one, and they don't see it. Like,
yeah.
they should be able to throw a flag.
With that, though,
if it hits
once
it hits, go ahead.
No. I'm saying, like, if you see 2 seconds on the play clock, like, and you throw a flag and the ref doesn't recognize it, now all of a sudden we don't have,
But they'll have the video. They'll have the video.
Yeah.
They'll have the video.
When did the flag hit the ground?
Are we really going to be reviewing timeouts? Like, is that where we're at? Like, we need to review timeouts?
I think Auburn would have loved to review on Saturday, Ty.
It doesn't happen that often. I mean, reviewing timeouts. Why don't we just make the game 7 hours long? What the hell are we doing? What the hell is going on out here?
I'll say this: if there's a rule meant to be bent, just bent, not broken, Kirby Smart's going to find it. And Kirby Smart's
I don't disagree. But they're always going to do that.
I love
it. That was, look, I'm in sales. The best salespeople on the floor. What makes them so great? Is it because they can talk better? Because they follow the script? No, not at all. Hell no. They may just break the rules better than anybody. They live in this little area that your conscience would eat you alive if you even just sniff it. They live in this little world of darkness perfectly. How do you do it? I can't teach it, okay? They don't have a conscience. They don't care. They don't have morality, all right? And they live there perfectly, and they sleep like a baby. I'm just telling you what it is. If you want to know the secret, if you're in sales like Sheldon, how do I get it done? Listen, if you are in sales, you manipulate.
Kirby's a used car salesman,
okay?
For sure.
Here, listen to me. I know manipulate has always been a negative connotation. It is what it is. Accept that, okay? You have to manipulate somebody to buy into what you're saying. And so the better that you are at that, sometimes you kind of tiptoe over a line that you probably wouldn't feel too good about, okay? That's all that it is. So if you're doing one of these or what have yous, and you give me an opportunity to talk myself out of it, oh boy, the morality team in my head, they're out of there, okay? They're gone.
Billy,
he gave me a door to get out. I'm out.
Billy would have told
himself. Billy would have said, I called a timeout. You're right. Billy would have folded like a lawn chair in 30 seconds. 100%. Man of God, he would have done it in a heartbeat. Listen, I probably would have lost sleep too. I'm going to be honest with you.
Did you just admit to being a sleazy salesman? Is that what I just heard?
No. I would have told him.
He's a manager of sleazy salesmen.
I'm a manager. I couldn't.
Who they learn from?
He's the AD. Knows he got some dogs
I teach him the right way. I teach him the right way.
But
look, to be honest with you,
they get money sleazy, and
there's a reason. Look, those who can't teach, there's a reason why I teach. All right, I know what I'm doing. I can talk a good
it.
game, but there is a sense where I feel like I can't tiptoe into the gray area.
Wait, I made money off of it. Everything's fine.
Listen, I listened to all the good guys' calls. I'm like, that was close.
But it wasn't there. I got it.
Wasn't there. If you need help, Ty, I can give you some input. But yeah,
Thank
look,
you, buddy. I appreciate
that game. The whole time I was like, Georgia's gonna win this game. Like, don't even waste my time with this. Like, that's why when like everyone's picking Auburn, I was like, Auburn's not going to win this football game. I just don't. I don't. There's nothing. There's just not going to happen. And look, like Kirby hasn't looked good. Georgia hasn't looked good. But this is what when you're having bad years and down times. Even people are trying to point to the Lane Kiffin and barely beating Washington State. Nobody's gonna give a damn 3 weeks on the road they won by 3 points. Nobody's gonna give a damn that Georgia
won.
They won. Right now, are there
All
concerns and issues that you need to overlook? Yeah, or that you need to look into? 100%. Like you can't overlook that. That's going to be on the coaching staff to figure those things out. And look, the Dogs are going to be very beatable. I had them losing 3 games this year, so I still think they do. I think they lose 2 more. I don't know where they're at, but I think they will. And I mean, the SEC is tough, so we'll see how that bodes. Especially with the Big Ten, there's probably 4 teams with 1 losses, and they're all going to get in. So. It's going to be an interesting one, but Kirby gets it done once again.
Yeah, I mean, this game to me was, it was a slot. It didn't look, it was nothing pretty about it. If Auburn had any hints of be able to throw the ball down the field, they would be so good. They just don't have the ability to get the ball down the field.
If only they had a 5-star quarterback back there.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I mean,
if only,
listen.
Hugh
I looked
picked
up
this kid out of the portal.
Kid's good.
I listen. I'm just saying, if I had Deuce Knight and the man was 6'5" and he ran a 4.5 340 and had a 42-inch vertical, I might give this guy an opportunity because he can't do any worse, right? I mean, he's got to be able to throw the football down the field. Like Auburn had any hints of some kind of passing attack that would scare somebody, the team would be dangerous because they do play defense. I mean, they really get after it, but like you have to be able to throw in this league, and they just aren't able to do it.
I'm going to tell you the biggest problem with Hugh Freeze is you look at every place that he's been, he makes the quarterbacks fit his system. He refuses to change the system to help his quarterbacks, and I think that's why Deuce Knight hasn't taken over the reins. I don't think it's a hard system. It's a lot of RPO stuff. I don't think that Deuce Knight at this point has the entire playbook down, and I think
you're correct. The
Hugh
reading
Freeze
and stuff like that.
I think Hugh Freeze is like, nope, you're not gonna touch the field until you have my playbook down. Instead of making some calls, maybe go a little more spread, put some easy reads in there for your young gunslinger to go out there because you can't pass the ball. You got all these Ferraris. You got 5 4-star plus wide receivers out on the field that are just running routes on air for no reason. That's why Hugh Freeze is
5-star receivers that are blockers. They're blockers.
That's why he's going to get fired. I mean,
I agree.
He refuses to adapt his offense to help the quarterbacks out. That's why we've seen 3 years of piss poor quarterback play at the University of Auburn, and he's going to be up there on the list of getting fired.
137 passing yards is what they ended up with in that football game. 137.
That's shameful.
Could have won the game.
It's insane.
Very Florida-esque like, for sure. Super Chat Aaron Pace, 1456, $2. You can't fire a coach for losing to top 5 teams on the road. You can do it.
I can.
We can do it whatever we want.
I definitely can.
They just. Well, I guess they didn't. They didn't because James didn't lose top 5. I saw the AP poll this morning. I go, this is why the 4 losses, because even USF's ranked. The 4 losses, when you look at Florida's 4 losses right now, we're a little off schedule here, but the 4 losses are coming to the number 2 team Miami, the number 4 team Texas A&M, the number 8 team LSU, and the number 17 team USF. And USF was not on the road, but the other 3 were all on the road. And
even though LSU is ranked 8, I mean,
they're not a number 8 team. I know, but look, it's semantics, right? And that's the problem too, is that everyone's like looking at it, and like at the same time, I mean, there's some truth to that. Here's the thing: someone said it last night. If Florida only had 3 losses, right now, I don't think anybody would be panicking. The USF screwed them. I don't care that they're ranked 17th. If you're trying to sit here and tell me that, oh, they lost, they were at home, you shouldn't be light years behind USF. I don't give a damn that they're playing great football this year.
Ever.
They were
the other 3 games,
favorites.
yeah, I gave them a leeway. I said Florida was going to lose 3 of them. I think they should have won against LSU, and they probably should have 2 losses. But Miami was always going to be tough, and the A&M game was the only game. I'm dying on this damn hill. Everybody saw all these games like, hey, that game's going to be a damn gauntlet. I don't care what anybody says. Mike Elko got that shit turned around. And I love that damn
Texas
football team out of Texas. Outside of Marcel Reed, if it wasn't Marcel Reed, if I would have seen more Saturday night, I'm picking A&M to win the whole damn thing. If it wasn't for I am listen, I'm not saying Marcel sucks. He is their liability. And they may be good enough to overcome that. I don't know. But I think that to win a championship,
Notre Dame game.
I don't think you're not listening to me. He is their he is the weakness, and it may not even be that bad. I'm just saying someone's going to find a way to expose it, and I don't know if he can overcome it. He hasn't sold me enough to me feel confident. That's all that I'm saying. Is when it comes to championship player, you're gonna need a guy to, and maybe he finds it. Maybe he works through it because he's only a sophomore. Like it's not like he's a 5th-year guy. So I'm not hating on Marcel Reed. I genuinely love the progress that he's made. I mean, it's been phenomenal to be quite honest with you. But that's my reason to be a little sus. If you put Ty Simpson in this thing, it's A&M and it's not even close. If you put Julian Sayin in it and he's a sophomore, I just like the way that he's looked. It's not even close. We made Marcel Reed looked mediocre against a cornerback room at Florida that was getting torched any which way you want to look at it. That's all that I'm saying. Quit yelling at me.
I'll ask you this. If we had made the change last year to Lane Kiffin like it was supposed to happen, where do you have this team with this schedule? Florida. 1 loss? 0 losses?
It's hard.
I think
I don't know. It's hard to say how well they would. It's hard to say who would be there and who would not.
It's not hard to say. He's doing it with West Town at Ole Miss.
Look, I think Miami in a way dominated Florida too. I think they probably would have had 2 losses.
Okay, so 2 losses and we're ranked.
Yeah, we top 10.
It's not about the season that Napier's having. Like you said, it's about the past things that he hasn't done. Like doesn't he have a losing record now or something like that? It's like
he's never had a winning record. That's a big thing too, Tyler. Is that people are trying to look at this in a vacuum. Like, hey, this year all of his losses are top. Yeah, that's great. You're 100% right. This is year 1, 2, 3. He'd have a pass. You don't have the pass anymore in year 4. I don't give a damn how hard your schedule is.
If he had hired a real OC.
All the
he
time
may have had a pass.
to overcome. And the problem is that these 4 losses have all fallen on the same damn shit we've seen for the last 3 years. That's the problem. It's not, you can't look at it in a vacuum. You can't look at it from between these 2 windows here. All right. It's the whole scheme of the entire situation that's at fault. Get me off topic here. We're talking dog and the freeze here. Get me fired up at 10:30 in the morning, and I love it. All right. We got $2 for Anthony shown for head coach. You know what? Put me in, baby. Put me in, baby. I just see a little coffee, a little cold foam. You know, anything is possible.
Will you hire me to your staff if you get hired as head coach?
Hell yeah. Well, hell yeah. We always need a little mortgage guy. You know what I'm saying? $5. Anthony, did you give the FSU guy a hard time yet? Oh,
buddy, we got it, Anthony. Don't worry. I've got
Ty was in shambles on Saturday. I had to call Ty on Saturday. I was like, he was tilt bad. I was like, shit, I gotta call him.
You said you wanted to see more emotion out of me. Well, you got it.
So all FSU fans are alike, and finally Ty showed that side of it because I texted.
Oh, that's not true.
You were there. You were close. So my uncle's an FSU fan. He was a complete puss about it. He's like, I never texted you when Florida's struggling. I was like, shut up. And of course, I texted Holly. And he was not happy because I just sent him, hey, at least you beat Bama. I was very supportive, by the way. I don't know why I sent you all the same thing. I said, hey, you guys beat Bama. And all of you got very upset.
It didn't feel sincere.
Well, that's your fault. I can't help with your own insecurities.
I think FSU gave Kirk Herbstreit's dog cancer. I think they were 100%. They were secretly poisoning his food.
100%. 100%. Wow. Yeah, I feel like you guys got very sensitive and very soft about it, and I wasn't
sensitive. You caught me in a bad time. I was running a poker tournament, and everything was in shambles, and I was watching the game, and I was pissed off about that, and then people were pissing me off on top of it. And Ugh.
You were
Sorry,
mad. I had to call him. I had to call him and talk him off the ledge.
You thought I was mad, but I really wasn't that mad. I said, what did I tell you? I said,
off the ledge
you know what?
bunch.
I'm never
It's
mad at
okay.
you. You want to know why I said never mad at you? Because you know what's going to happen to me if Florida State loses? The same damn thing that was going to happen to me the next day. I'm going to get up and I'm going to be pissed off and it's fine. And I'm going to go do my job and I'm going to do everything I'm supposed
Cody,
to do.
you saw the
I'm
chain.
just going to be aggravated about it.
Cody, you saw the chain. I had to pull back. I didn't even go full press.
But you don't ever have to pull back.
Can I read our text messages? Can I read our text messages?
I don't care.
Do the people want to home want to hear our back and forth? Want to hear our childish?
I agree. I was a little aggravated, but I wasn't mad at you. I get it. I should take all the smoke. I wasn't mad at you. I was not mad at you. I was more frustrated with everything that was going on, but I was not mad at you.
Hold on. What do you say?
You don't have to read it. I can tell you what I said. That makes it easier. I said.
Did I start it or did you start it?
I definitely didn't start it. I can tell you that.
Oh, I can tell you who started it.
No. You did.
I know
you
who started
You
it.
said, "How could this team beat Bama?" You started it.
Oh,
you said, "What a joke!" And I said, "I picked that shitty team." And then Cody said, "Floater gotcha." And then you go, "We beat Bama." So you did it. And I go, "You did, Ty. Yes, you did." And then I said, "Might only win 3 games." And then you started it. You said Florida.
I got fired up when that happened. Florida
and FSU.
We got a 11:45 presser today.
Yeah, we do. Cody, we're in the middle of a conversation here. What are we doing?
My bad.
And then I go, you go, Florida FSU sucks all the effing cocks. And then I go, hey, don't put us in that category. Y'all are ass. So you started it. I wasn't even being mean. Then you go, what are you? You guys are as bad as we are. I go, we're booty. Y'all are ass. And then you go, Florida's complete ass too. And I go, incorrect. We play in a real conference. And then the true colors come out. Texas A&M's gonna roll you. And I go, don't deflect, Ty. Marcel Reed's gonna play 7 for 7 tonight. And I go, I'm Team Ty. Don't come at me. And then you go, so if you F a conference, it's fine. Makes 0 sense. That's like you're bro. And then I go, he's crashing out, Cody. This is what happened to Holly. Like literally crashing out. You read the comments there. I didn't even. You know, now that I realize it, you're the one FSU fan I didn't even attack. My other Collie and Joe, my uncle, they weren't even talking to me. I attacked them. I was trying to
confide in us as being 2 shitty football teams, and then you just couldn't help admit that you guys were shitty like we are.
At that point, we hadn't lost that day. I'm not going to put myself
with the late game.
I'm not going to.
With the primetime game.
Yeah, well,
they would never get FSU primetime.
You were in a cesspool of degenerate nonsense.
Logo carries weight, son. We don't play on Fridays.
I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting involved with all that.
We're not playing Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. Listen, if it was like Sunday, the next day we want to talk like right today, like yeah, we're all shit today. That's fine. But I'm still in game mode when you're trying to bring me down to your level.
True.
I'm not doing any of that.
That's true. You're right. You are right. I wasn't thinking about that. We were thinking we were going to roll that. We were playing defense. Pittsburgh looked like they were going to freaking Alabama out there. I mean,
so we can agree this was on you.
I might have been out of line. I can admit my mistakes. I can admit my turmoil.
Thank you.
I was in a bad place.
So I called and apologized. Just to be clear, I called on Saturday and cleared the air.
I wasn't ever mad at you, though.
Ty, should we read more?
I promise you. If you think I'm mad at you, I'm never mad at you. I might
go. Listen, so after I said he's crashing out, I moved the conversation. He goes, I'm fine. I have fantasy football. Complete crash out comment. College football and NFL suck all the dicks. We hear your best team in your conference that makes us good, according to you. And I go, Cody, he's crumbling. Like, I haven't even said anything at this point. Like, he's literally talking to himself. And then he goes, we beat Bama. According to you, FSU is okay because they beat the best team in the conference. Make it make sense. And then I go, maybe true. I think you guys are actually back, actually. And he goes, and I think you guys are good too. And then he goes, maybe Lagway can throw a pick to me tonight too. And I go, we lost him, Cody. Thought Ty was stronger than this. Like this, I hadn't said anything.
Hey. And then Ty goes, my favorite part, Ty goes, we're going to poison Curb Street's new dog, just like we did the last one.
Now you're making up things.
And then look, he sits off this other stuff, and I go, we also didn't beat Bama. Let it out, Ty. We're here for you. And then I had to call him.
I was never mad at you. I was always frustrated with you. I promise you, though, no matter what I say, I'm never mad at you guys. That's never going to be a thing because I just don't get like that. But I can tell you that, yes, I was frustrated with the L. It was driving me insane while I was running a stupid tournament getting yelled at by every player in America.
I'm just saying, I was. And
then I had to take the smoke from my boys. Take the smoke from you guys. Like I couldn't handle it. I was.
Yeah, you were in shambles. We're gonna read the super chat. We're having a conversation. There's a few more. We're getting there. Look, the boys are chatting back and forth, trying to. You see, we're hashing out a therapy session. Give me a minute. Pace. Napier had the toughest schedule in the nation for 2 years. Again, I hear you. You knew what you signed up for. Like, there's zero sympathy from me. I don't know what you want me. Is this Bernie? Is this Billy's burner? It's got to be Billy's burner. $5 from Anthony. Listen to what man Anthony has to say. $5. My man always be used for sports, short the show. Off topic. I know timing of the fire doesn't change much, but can we just see what we'll look like with a different coach in charge? Anthony is just on a burner here, like a completely off topic. We've already said this, but we don't control Anthony. I don't know if you know this or not, but we just run a podcast. You know, we don't control the firings. Anthony Robinson says, Ty, what are you thinking about Mike Norvell? Easy. He might break out here. He might crash out.
Hey, if he's got a dog, watch out.
I'm over it. Come up sick. I'm literally over it. False hope. He obviously don't have it. If you can't win an ACC game in 400 days, you shouldn't even be coaching in NCAA football. Like
crazy.
Like,
hey,
400 days after going 14-0. I mean, that's crazy.
13-1.
Is he worse than Willie?
And they shouldn't have beat Cal. If you want my honest opinion, we should have won one game.
They shouldn't have. I'm pissed they did. I'm so pissed they did. That would have been incredible.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. This is why we're.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Chat wants to know, Ty, is he worse coach than Willie Taggart?
No, he's not that bad. Willie Taggart has guys lined up backwards. That's a true story. You can go watch the film. His guys would line up backwards and then turn forwards.
Who do you want?
I don't care at this point. Just put someone. I want Siggy because I don't care if he's old or not. The SOB wins. He wins wherever he goes. Give me Siggy, but he ain't leaving Indiana. He built that.
Go yank Golish.
I like Golish. I do like Golish. I wouldn't be mad about that. We just need somebody in there that has I don't know. It just does. Norvell just doesn't do. Looks like you said. He looks like a little dweeb on the sideline. Just drives me nuts. He looks like Mike McDaniel almost.
Bro,
Mike McDaniel. He looks like Mike McDaniel.
When he talks, it's like
he keeps saying we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Well, buddy, you're running out of figuring it out.
That snotty sound. Like, yeah, we're gonna be really good. And these guys, you know, I can't stand when he talks. I couldn't play for him. I'd lose my mind.
I believed it. And then when he beat Bama, I was like, okay, maybe he.
You want Deion? Is what the chat's saying? You want Sanders?
I do not want Deion. I don't.
Prime time.
He's already. Him and Florida State have already had their. Him and Florida State have already had their timeout. Like they've already gotten mad at each other. They don't like each other. I don't know. I don't care who I want. I just want somebody to turn the culture of football around. That's what I want because that's exactly what you need. You don't have to be a great X's and O's guys. If you hire people that can do that, you just got to be able to turn the culture of the program around. We don't have that. And that's
only 50 likes for 200 people here is going to make Ty crash out again. Let's get some likes up, boys. Not the little heart. You got to leave the chat and like it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that sucks, bro.
I'm trying to get Shelton to pay me more than 10 cents.
Red River rivalry, bro. I can't believe this blew my damn mind. I took Oklahoma straight up. I was like, these Vegas chumps don't know a damn thing. I'm pissed. Jason, Brent Venables Brented the hell out of this damn football game. 6 points. 6 points. When you just saw Florida put up 29, 6 damn points. John Mateer was rushed back. That's the only thing that I can think of. 3 interceptions. I mean, it wasn't like Arch Manning went out there and just played a Heisman football game. You know, the game was close the whole time. The scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story. They were right there. They just couldn't move the ball, them being Oklahoma.
I kind of feel bad for John Mateer. The throws were there, but you could physically see he could not make the throws. They were all late back behind. It wasn't a mechanic thing. It wasn't a eye discipline thing. He blamed it. His presser, he said, I have to be better. My eyes have to be better. It wasn't that, big dog. You just had thumb surgery 3 weeks ago. Why are they rushing this cat back?
Guy was playing with 4 fingers, bro.
Here's what I think. So I think Mateer has the heart, and he's just a dog. Like he wanted that game so bad. But there's sometimes when you can hurt your team more than you can help your football team. And you could see that his accuracy, if you go watch the previous 4 weeks, his accuracy was, he was spot on throwing the football. That game, it was balls getting thrown behind people. It was balls not anywhere near them. You could just tell that his throwing hand was not the same. He did not look like the same quarterback. And Texas defense is really good, but it wasn't that. It was that Mateer couldn't put the balls where he usually is. And I think it was, like I said, I think he was rushed back. And I don't even know if it was them. He made them believe that he could do it. And I just don't think he was quite ready. I think OU's really good. I just think they have to be smart with this because the long run is playoff. It's not rivalry game. It's the playoffs. Like, that's what we need to get to. And if we get a healthy Mateer in the playoffs, we can beat anybody because our defense is really good.
Yeah, look, I think they fit the mold that we were talking about earlier in the show of, a championship caliber team with a healthy John Mateer. Saturday scared me. Who do they have this week? They don't have any breaks coming up either. That's the problem. They've got a hell of a stretch coming up, if I'm not mistaken, which is not good in the sense for him being able to get healthy. Yeah, so they have South Carolina at South Carolina, then Ole Miss, then Tennessee, then Alabama, then Mizzou, then LSU. Holy shoot!
Yeah, Brent Venables might get fired by the end of the year. This thing might come to like a 5-6 game skid.
Yeah, come run off the hinges. Because South Carolina, you got to look, man. South Carolina, they just played a dogfight against LSU. Beamer's on the hot seat.
They're chomping for a win. They're chomping for a win.
Beamer is in a place where, we talk about a UCLA being here. They're a scary team. They're talented enough to beat you any given week. It just depends on what team shows up. And Beamer's fighting for his life. And they smell blood. They gave you a blueprint now. Mateer's not healthy. This could get ugly for Brent quick. From a team that was the best team in the SEC, rolling away with it. Jason's doing parades and whatnot. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, that's what's great about college football." It's like we're going into week 7, and we ain't got a clue what we're gonna get.
Yeah,
I can tell you, Oklahoma might not win another game. They might fire their coach at the end of the year. This was supposed to be their build up for a national championship run, and it's coming to a skid to one quarterback.
They really could, dude. That's not a hot take.
This is the biggest thing that I have to say. As a coach, at a point you have to protect your players. And if you go out there and you lose, and if you go out there and you lose with a second string quarterback, you might get a little extra if you need a little bump to get into the playoffs. You might get that because they're going to look at that OU Texas game and say, hey, it was a rivalry, second string quarterback. Mateer wasn't ready. They held him out because of his thumb. But you know what? He came back the next week, and he absolutely lit it up, looked good. So we're just going to call that as Mateer was hurt.
We're live right now. Jason, you're on the air, and they can't hear you, they can hear you, but you can't hear them. Cody just said that Oklahoma may not win out, and Brent Venables is gone. I just wanted to get your take.
If he would be fired if they didn't win, they don't win out.
Well, we know that, but your thoughts on him saying that Oklahoma may not win
another game
because of the schedule they've got lined up here.
Okay. Yeah, listen,
Wow.
It's tough.
He doesn't feel very confident.
No, look, I'm going to tell you something. I'm confident in the defense beyond anything, right? I think this defense is as good as it gets. My problem is that you can't play John Mateer, watch him throw 3 interceptions, not take him out for a healthy guy that is faster in which you like running it.
I was about to say the same thing.
Can throw the ball, and then listen to him talking about that he was healthy. We saw that he wasn't fucking healthy. You know what I mean?
You ain't wrong.
I'm getting to the point where one isn't adding to one and becoming two anymore. We're hearing dumb things that just don't make sense. I mean, I'm going to be on later, and I'm still kind of on the road, but right now I'm not happy. Right now I'm not happy. I don't like what I see. The worst thing about it is when you look at this was probably Texas's worst team, and it's definitely Brent Venables' best team that he's had, and you just got your ass whipped.
I think Jason. I love Jason.
I can't argue with him. I can't argue with him. I can't argue with what he's saying.
I thought Jason was going to be hot when I told him that Cody thinks he's going to lose out, and it feels like you're not confident in the Venables anymore, huh?
I mean, again, this is we're talking about not that long removed from a emotional point of watching them get their ass whipped again in the Cotton Bowl 2 years in a row. I've been there watching it.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't make me happy.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it just doesn't make you happy. But do I think that it's getting to a point where I'm wondering, yeah, these guys are fantastic, and they're and then you start thinking about, well, yeah, they've got a great, the culture in the locker room, awesome. They love each other. They do all this. Okay, cool. Win the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, win the fucking game.
So my take isn't okay. Hold on. So my take is right.
So you don't mind Cody's take then?
No, man. I think that when you're coaching at this level and the expectations are what they are at Oklahoma, I think that he's not the only one. If you go on Twitter right now, Twitter's wild. We all understand that, but there's a lot of people that want his ass out, and I'm not telling you that that's what I want. I'm telling you that at this point, if I don't see change throughout the next, you go to South Carolina and lay an egg this week, nobody's stopping anybody from saying it, because there's no way, if you can't beat South Carolina this week, I don't give a shit that it's on the road. If you can't win this game, there's no way that we can believe that you're going to go ahead and win out and get into the playoff. And I think that the playoff was, you look at what you have defensively, playoffs should be something that you can expect. The expectation can be there, and that's not what the expectation is right this second because of what we just saw. Again, this is Texas's worst team.
So South Carolina being your hypothetically at the moment your easiest game left, but it's on the road and it doesn't feel. That's what I was saying. It doesn't feel very easy because that South Carolina team is still a good team. They just a typical Beamer ball, have not had a few things go their way. But Jason, I do appreciate you answering, man, and chit chatting. This has been great. I love this little segment here. Hey, just so you know, hey, appreciate you.
I wasn't expecting this. I was just watching your show from last night, and yeah, it's kind of where I'm at, So
it's fair. Yeah.
You guys talking to Billy.
Yeah, we're live now. If you want to tune in and hear us continue to talk, but hey, Florida beat Texas. Hook 'em. Love you, buddy. Thank you.
Well, here's the way I feel about it. So I love Jason's takes.
Go ahead, Ty.
Well, I'm going to talk about this OU and why I don't like Venables, and this is the reason. So John Mateer obviously is a dog, and he wants to be out there, and he wants to help his team win, and he's got a lot of heart. We can all see that. But when you're a head coach, he's a 22-year-old kid learning what his life is, and he's still trying to figure it out. You are the head coach of a football team. You have to make the decision to say, we love what you want to do for this team. We love what you've done, but we got to sit you because we have a chance to win. And you clearly aren't healthy enough because your accuracy is way off. You have to be able to make that as a head coach. As tough as it may be, you have to say, hey, you have to step in and be the head coach. Hawkins should have came into that game when they saw Mateer wasn't healthy and he was throwing inaccurate balls. They did not. That's why I don't like Brent Venables, and that's why I think that as a leadership standpoint was not good for the OU football team, and all this loss does is hurt them. As if Cody said, if Hawkins would have played and they lose a close game, no one would have even held it against them.
Yep, I think that's the smart move. Even if Mateer was a little bit better in practice, I think you have to. Your goal is to get to the playoffs and make a run. And you could have sat him another week, and then you're good to go. And if you lose that game, it's a rivalry game. It's weird, We have the backup quarterback real quick. Gaming with Black. That is OU's one of the most well-respected podcasts. I synced that puppy up and I smoked it for about a 350-yard drive right on the freaking fairway. I love that take, okay? I have the pulse on OU, okay? So maybe I don't need to be a Florida podcaster. Maybe I need to be an OU podcaster. I don't know, but you can suck on that, big dog.
Good Lord. He's on a bender.
Jeez Louise. You're letting gaming get in your head here, Cody. RK Wood.
I love
RK Wood, $5. Billy is a great coach. Billy has the players, and Lane Kiffin left Tennessee in disgrace. And you went to destroy the Gators for nothing. Do better. Who are we talking to in specific here, RK? I would love to know because he dropped another one. $5. If you guys want wins more than your dignity or morality, go get Lane Cheater Kiffin.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Hey, I like that.
This is the crazy part about, again, like there is no hire that's going to calm this fan base down. Because RK, I know I've seen him before, he's a Gator fan, but yeah, I don't know. Arkansas. Tennessee boys, they're quietly doing it right now. And what I mean by that is they lose the... Let me finish. Holy crap. I want to know that I won this game, by the way. I took Arkansas +10. I told you guys I want the spread, and I was right, but we'll move on from that. No need to bask in the glory here. They've got Alabama this week. I think we're going to find a lot about both of these teams this week, which we say that every week, but that's the world that I feel like we're living in at this very moment. They're quietly just winning football games. Like, when everyone else is kind of getting shot and doing things, they're just, after that Georgia loss, which was a good loss, which seems weird. It wasn't a good loss. They kind of blew it, but you know what I mean. They've got Alabama this week. It's on the road. But they have kind of been, building up for this game where Bama's been getting had some. I mean, Bama had Vandy at home. They go to Mizzou on the road. Like, they've been kind of battle tested, in my opinion. Like, they are on a stretch right now where this is where, Tennessee can take advantage. Then they've got Kentucky. They've got an easy one. Then they've got Oklahoma at home, which we just heard the Oklahoma fans in shambles, right? Then they got New Mexico State. If we're looking at the SEC and all these teams we'll have left, Tennessee's road, it's still healthy, but it's not like we just read Oklahoma's schedule, right? It's not South Carolina's schedule. It's not Florida's schedule. There's some ebbs and flows where they can kind of catch a breath, where they can find a little bit of a rhythm here. Tennessee football, typically Tennessee's this thing, but look, where people thought Tennessee was going to be at this point is nowhere near where it was going to be, and I think that the schedule is playing even more in favor for them to get it done. Now, I know the game ended up being 34-31. They controlled that game, very similar to the Syracuse game. They controlled that game. The score kind of got close for a second, but Tennessee's controlled almost every game they've played in, outside maybe Mississippi State, but even then they handled it. It was a close game. Mississippi State's been playing very well. In Georgia, they controlled the game. They no joke Tennessee the hell out of themselves, which is unbelievable to think about. They should have won. But Ty, what are your thoughts, big guy?
Well, I don't know if Tennessee's quietly winning games because every game they play is a cardiac kind of football game. None of their games are blowouts. All of them are very close. The Georgia game come down to a missed field goal. Tennessee had a chance to win it outright, missed it. The Mississippi State game goes to overtime. This game comes down. They got to get a first down before they give the ball back to Arkansas, and they probably score because they couldn't stop anyone. It seems to me that the Tennessee team is going to play to their competition, and every single football game is going to be fun to watch. I don't expect any different this week. I think this Alabama game is going to be fun to watch. I still think this Tennessee team's better than last year, which is crazy to say. I think that it's a better offensively with Aguilar, and I think that Brazil only had one catch against Arkansas, which is wild to me, but they ran the ball very well, which was crazy. I think they had one guy had 150 yards rushing, which Arkansas isn't a powerhouse defense, but it just seems to me every week it's played to their competition and their games are fun to watch. So,
but they're finding ways to win,
Alabama, because that's it. That's all you got to do, and that's what you have to do nowadays. It used to be you have to be pretty about it back in the day when you only had 4 teams. You had to be pretty. You had to win it beautifully. Now you just have to win it because if you win it, you're in it. So now you just got to find ways to win, and the Tennessee team is doing it. But eventually, it will catch up to them. You cannot continue to win football games like this. Yeah, you have to. It's just how it is. You can't live and die like this.
The thing, though, is that they've got, again, Alabama, who's been playing very similar ball. They've got Oklahoma, who were kind of, we're up in the air.
It's fun to watch. Do not get it twisted.
Hey,
it's fun to watch.
I used to believe that teams like this couldn't make it deep in the playoffs, and then TCU said, "Hold my beer." The true cardiac kids a couple years ago, where every single game came down to a last-second scoring drive. Hey, I'm here for it. It's going to be great football. I'm going to watch it. I think Alabama probably wins this thing. I think they're just more of a controlled team than what Tennessee is. Their defense isn't as good as last year, and it seems like Tennessee can't, like they haven't put it all together yet. Like, it's either they run the ball really good, they pass the ball really good. Like one wide receiver goes off, like we were talking about, and then he's MIA. So it's one of those things where I think that Tennessee's doing what they need to do. Though they're winning the games that they need to win.
Look,
I don't care if it's by 1 point
against Arkansas. Let's not get it twisted. Bobby Petrino
Bobby
threw the
dialing
kitchen
up.
sink at him. Yeah, like that was a good little test for Heupel to kind of like.
If there's a coach I hate that guy.
Bobby
Petrino's such a weasel little
sleaze bag.
He's
He's such a
slimy.
How would you ever put that guy on your coaching staff? I mean, he is a used car salesman. That is the definition.
Look at this take. Zach says Tennessee has 0 chances versus Oklahoma and Alabama. All right.
Wow.
We'll find out. They do have a soft schedule. That's my point. They got a soft schedule. They got ways to win this thing. And look, Oklahoma, the verdict's out right now that the boys might be on fraud alert. So we'll see. Boys.
Not the defense.
Not the defense. Great show. Yeah. Even with Cody's atrocious takes and should hang up the headset. Great show, as always. Ran a little long, but we had a lot to talk about. I think it kicked ass and took some names. Here's the great news. We'll be live again tonight at 8:05. Maybe we'll go live here in 45 minutes for the presser. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys, down in the comments below. Of course, we'll be getting live tomorrow morning, the professor and I, at 9:35, doing it all over again. So if you want to see a crash off from Cody once again, tune in, because you never know when you're going to get it. You never know if you're going to get a Busch Latte, a floater on top. We like to keep you on your toes here at High Top Sports, but that's what we do. We're on the way to 27,000 subs. We need about 50 more. So if you know you're a cousin, an uncle that wants to just be entertained for, 30 to 45 minutes on a daily basis, tell them to come on over. We're having a good time here. Smash it, like it, do all the good stuff. We'll see you boys later on. Keep the bell turned on. We're on call here in case there's any more firings that happen within the next couple of days. You never know. Y'all be good, be safe. Peace and love.
Just for the record, I was never mad at these guys. They can
he
talk
was mad.
I was
Crashed out.
He was mad.
We can't hear you.
Poisoned the dog, didn't you? You poisoned the dog.